There are a lot of traitors in the United States, and it's not just the judges. It's also literally our state representatives. Right, Connecticut State Representative Mariam Khan, sounds like a straight white Christian male, appears to have replaced her American flag with a Pakistani flag. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that nice? See, this is insane. It's crazy that we need to deal with this every single day. Every single day. We have to wake up. Traitors are running our government. We go to sleep. We wake up. Traitors are running our government. We're getting replaced. We're getting killed. We're getting raped. We go to sleep. We wake up. More traitors are running our government. It's honestly insane. We need something really drastic to happen. This is not acceptable at all, and it's only getting worse everywhere. Until eventually the pushback gets too big. So ISIS calls on Muslims to set fire to churches and synagogues around the world on Easter. That's nice. That's pretty awesome. Love that. Love that. It's almost like they fucking hate us and want to conquer us and kill us or something. Now, on the eve of Holy Thursday, Chartreux boarding school, Catholic school in Lyons, France, was set on fire. Christianity under attack again. Where any media reactions? Tucker Carlson, you were talking about how a church was closed in Israel while it was getting bombed by Iran, but you're not going to talk about how there's literally an attack on a church like every single day in Europe by Islamists? Like, this is insane. We don't have to live like this, dude. We literally let the barbarians into the gates, and now we have to make believe that they're just like us. All right. So again, not trying to get controversial or anything. All right. But it seems like 6.4% of the population is doing 62.1% of the violent crime in Minnesota. Now, to be fair, this isn't just including black people. This is also including like Somalians. All right. So like, I mean, listen. Well, the numbers are skewed. Pay no attention. You're racist if you notice. Now, here's in my opinion, you have to be careful, because being racist is obviously, it's a human right. You have to be careful of society. Look, man, if you see some shit happening, you might have to cross the street, you know? Like, I'll be honest, pattern recognition is important. But I just think you have to talk about how, actually, don't get too racist, right? Because there are some fucking retards literally everywhere. All right, so Rupert Lowe, more on him in a bit. There's a link between rape gangs and one particular religion. We have seen it again and again and again in our inquiry. That religion is Islam. As a country, we have to have the courage to face up to that fact. This guy says, get over it. What? There has to be something absurdly evil about saying get over it in the context of gang rape, torture, and murder for religious reasons. Something like this would never be said in any other group for lesser crimes, and he says, once again, get over it. All right, so just understand, this is Jonathan Brown, a professor at Georgetown, responding to a post saying, yo, I really don't like that Muslims keep raping people, with get over it. Which is insane. Absolute insanity. All right, so this guy says, never get so racist so you forget that white leftists are the worst people in the world. And Elon Musk says, important reminder. All right, important reminder. Don't forget. Listen, save some of your rage for the traitors that let them rape us. All right, so anyway, this is a press conference in London. They invited this guy. This is Ahmed al-Shara. He is the current leader of Syria. Syria is currently massacring Christians, by the way. All right, England came out condemning the United States for attacking Iran. Syria is currently massacring Christians en masse, and they invited him to England. And watch this fucking monkey fail to open a bottle and need a woman to do it instead. He just can't do it. Enter to a strong, powerful, independent woman. Oh, she figured it out.
Keep the Russian military bases in Syria.
Anyway, so yeah, just wanted to show you that because I thought it might humiliate him in England a little bit, which is always fun. So anyway, this is a scene in Pakistan of police getting chased by Islamists.
Nos voitures à Lima, nos voitures.
Look at that. You see that shit?
Nos voitures à Lima. Ta voiture elle est où?
Oh, if you notice the language, you'll notice that actually this is not Pakistan. This is France.
La police est pas.
Yep. This is just Islamists chasing police out of their territory. Yep. France, ladies and gentlemen. They condemned us. I wonder why they condemned us from attacking the Strait of Hormuz. I wonder why France condemned us for attacking Iranian terrorists. That's so weird. So here's a pretty horrifying story that seems to be happening more and more these days. I feel like I have to do a racist video now and again. Every once in a while, I have to remind you guys what our values are. Okay, a little bit of racism, I think, keeps people safe. So this is a story of a Muslim Uber driver, Ahmed Ali, pretending to drop off a drunk girl in the United States. Instead, he drove her to a secluded area and raped her. Her family found her by tracking her phone. Now, this entire courtroom is full of Somalis that support the rapist.
58-year-old Ahmed Ali, an Uber driver accused of a heinous crime.
Where they're asking that the court find probable cause for rape in the second degree and kidnapping in the first degree.
The victim relying on Ali's service as a rideshare driver to get back safely. Instead, documents say, Ali used his Uber app to make it seem like he dropped the victim off, then drove here to this secluded location outside of Olympia and raped the victim.
She is fearful if he is released, or expressed that she would be fearful.
No shit.
The probable cause documents say the family of
I can't believe his name is Hassan. All the Hassans I know are such good people usually.
victim got worried when the woman did not return home. The father, using his phone, tracked his daughter's location to the scene of the assault and found the victim naked in the back seat of Ali's car, with Ali scrambling back to the front seat,
What a
trying to
nightmare.
pull his pants up.
There is a substantial
What a
danger
nightmare.
that the defendant will commit a new violent crime, and this is based on the nature of these allegations.
Documents say the victim's family beat up Ali, and at least 2 shots were fired. Investigators say Ali tried to flee the scene, despite medics saying he needed help. In court, Ali still had bandages on his hands. Near the scene of the attack, I spoke to a dad who told me it's horrifying to hear what happened to someone else's daughter on Father's Day weekend.
You know, to me, it's justice, and it should have never happened to begin with.
Obviously.
Right?
How could we have avoided this? How could we have avoided this from taking place? And the courtroom, of course, was full of Somalis. The entire Somali community came together to support this pedophile.
Dad was able to be
Isn't that
there.
beautiful?
The suspect is a father himself.
Oh!
5
Oh! A father himself! What an angel! 5 children that are now Americans that we have to deal with.
children. The
That's
courtroom was
amazing.
packed.
Look at that. Look at the community coming to support him. Isn't that nice? Deport all these fuckers. Do it. They obviously don't think this is a bad guy. Deport these dumb fucks. We don't need them here. Like, I'm being honest with you. This is insanity. Insanity that we need to be subjected to this shit, right? And then you wonder why the actual crime statistics in Minnesota look like this: 6% of the population, 60% of the violent crime. This is insane. This is absolutely damning, right? And then they say that you're racist. Actually, you're racist for saying racist. Racist? They should stop raping, and I'll be a little less racist. Okay? Worry about bigger issues, you dumbasses. This is absolute craziness, right? This is what Trump had to say about Somalis just today.
Somalia is just terrible. A lot of people say it's the worst country anywhere in the world.
True.
They have no money, no nothing. They have no government. They have no police.
They suck.
They just shoot each other all day long.
That's what they do.
It's just
That's what they
it's
do.
just pure bedlam. And probably the worst, most dangerous country.
That's what
have
they
some
do.
beauties. They go to Minnesota.
They rape.
And they stole $19 billion.
That's not good.
$19 billion.
I don't like that at all.
And they're low IQ.
They're
Okay?
true,
I mean,
objectively
I can
true.
generalize. They're low IQ people. They're bad people. They have 94% unemployment. In other words, they don't want to work. You know, there's a lot of jobs available, right, with the economy. They don't want to work. Why would they work? And
Why
there's
would they
more-
work if they could just vote to get your money for free? If they could open up their nice leering centers. Of course, another guy named Hassan, interestingly, just like this other pedophile named Hassan, that's crazy, said this is proud language of a white supremacist. Yep, you're a white supremacist if you're anti-rape, I guess, it seems. Anyway, so understand what's going on. In France, all right, they had a church burned down, all right, they had other crazy stories going on. Muslims chasing police out of their territory. French MEP Rima Hassan, who led the flotilla to Gaza together with Greta Thunberg, was placed in police custody in Paris. You know, for allegedly glorifying terrorism. Wow, that's so weird. Didn't see that coming. So this is a nice, wholesome story of Abdul Mol Ibrahim. Sounds like a straight white male to me. He had 15 prior arrests. He's from Sudan. And let's see if we could notice anything wrong with this video. If you notice something here, you're probably a racist. That's right. So this is a mom and her girl just sitting there with Mr. Ibrahim over here, who seems to be coming close and trying to come into the house and blocks the door. Wow. What the fuck is this? 15 arrests? What the fuck is this? And he just takes the kid. What the fuck is this? And he ends up running away. Thank God she was fine. Excuse me, what? This should radicalize the fuck out of you, man. 15 prior arrests. Now, this is Tony Blair, you know, former super important British guy. All right, this is his sister-in-law. All right, this is the sister-in-law of one of the most important and powerful people in England.
After October the 7th, this October the 7th, a legendary day.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable tragedy. You know, terrorist Islamists went into Israel, murdered 1,300 people, raped hundreds of women, and took hostages.
In the Ummah's history. Yes, we can say that people are now picking up the Quran because of the steadfastness and sabr of the people of Gaza.
She's actually saying that the October 7th massacre was actually a really fucking good thing, and Muslims love it, and they're becoming so much holier because of all the rape that happened and murder.
Specifically, to find the beauty in the Quran.
Yeah, when the Quran says, slit the kafar at the throat, all right, and Jews and Christians are the lowest of people, it's so inspiring when you see Jews and Christians getting murdered.
How many millions will accept Islam because of this? Only Allah knows.
Oh, so many people are so inspired by the mass killing and torture.
We're at a tipping point in history. Don't be downhearted.
Sister-in-law, one of the most powerful men in England. Now, you have to understand what we're dealing with here. This is literally an entire worldwide event that we're dealing with. This is Francesca Albanese, all right? This is in England. She's saying this in a conference today in England. Get ready.
They've been tortured to death. There are more than 100 people who have been killed, including journalists and doctors, medical personnel. Rape has been so pervasive.
I love how she says it like she makes believe she actually cares, right? While they import infinite rapists into their own country, they talk about rape in Gaza or something.
Men have been raped.
Oh, get ready. This is awesome.
With batons.
There's no evidence to any of this, by the way.
With bottles, with dogs.
Dogs.
Europeans who train dogs.
Right. Get ready. This is great. Right, so understand this is the scariest thing in the world for a Muslim because they hate dogs. So understand what's going on here. Right, we have Francesca Albanese ignoring the rape gang scandal in England, talking about how Europeans are training dogs to rape Palestinians. Like, these people have fabricated so much shit and manipulated the left in our global countries so much. It's insane. It's insane. Honestly insane. This is an article from today in the Daily Mail in England. Teenage mob chaos spreads to other towns and cities as youth supercharged with social media riot and ransack shops in London and Birmingham during Eastern holiday link-ups. Look at this image. They blurred the face of all the black people, and they only didn't blur the face of the one white person. It's honestly insane. It's insane. They pixelated every black guy and brown guy and Muslim, and they only left the one white girl unpixelized when they're talking about violence. Well, holy fuck! They're like, white people at it again. Sea of fucking brown in the background. Like, I'm just being real here. All right, this is Muhammad from Pakistan who attempted to rape a 13-year-old British girl. And they call him out for it. And he defends himself pretty well here.
Couldn't control myself.
Couldn't control myself. She was 13, and how was I supposed to control myself around 13-year-old girl? How could I control myself? She's 13. This is age of woman in Islam. I'm really glad that we brought these people into our countries, man. All right. So this is Rupert Lowe. I read how a failed Pakistani asylum seeker repeatedly abused and raped an 8-year-old girl has been jailed for 15 years. He abused her in her own home and bedroom. She was told that if she told anyone, she would die. I wouldn't deport him. And to restore Britain government with the British people's approval, the death penalty would be reintroduced to such evils and undeniable crimes. You would be put to death. If you rape a young child, you do not deserve to live. It's that simple. And he's right. And it's crazy. And the backlash he's been getting is wild, but honestly, people are actually starting to follow him. This is crazy. I would rather be called a racist or an Islamophobe than enable rape, to be honest. After what we've seen and heard at the rape gang inquiry, those meaningless words have no impact anymore. And he's just completely right about this. He is just objectively, completely right about this. All right? These words mean nothing. The words mean nothing. The issue was too big for me to care about your fucking bullshit labels and words and terms. A woke guy called you racist. You should kill yourself now. Just let them rape you. Let them rape you, bro. So Douglas Murray went on the BBC, all right, British Broadcasting cock. All right, this is essentially just it's a propaganda campaign at this point. Literally a propaganda for left-wing Euro-cuck values in England. So Douglas Murray, he's a right-wing journalist. He went on, and apparently he destroyed them.
Because of that threat of Islamic extremism, we should have less Islam in this country. Was that a wise phrase, talking about less Islam?
Well, I think it's perfectly wise phrase, perfectly open to misrepresentation. I think I said it at the encouragement of the BBC.
Well, I'm reading your article.
It was
you
on the
wrote in
BBC.
in
yes,
the Sun.
it was on the BBC. That's why.
I'm quoting what you said in the Sun. Less Islam. Surely, less Islam means less people of the Muslim faith. That means less Sajid Javids, less Sadiq Khans.
Well, that
it means
pro-based.
Anyone who's a Muslim. That's what it means, isn't it? Isn't that provocative?
I mean, it would also mean less people like the Abedi family, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
But the point is, you're talking about less Islam. That is Muslim people.
No. Just bear with me, because I know.
My guy, we do not owe anything to anyone. We, as in the Western world, signed the Western world. We do not owe third world rapists and retards literally fucking anything. We don't need to toss a coin and be like, well, you know, the good news is only 50% of Muslims are extremists. So therefore, well, we have to just flip a coin every time we import one. We don't have to play that game. In fact, it doesn't matter what the number is. We owe them nothing.
Better than you, what I think. This country has had a wildly stupid and lax immigration policy for decades. And we allowed people like the Abedi family, a family of jihadists who'd fallen out with Colonel Gaddafi because they were from rival jihadist groups. When the Abedi family fell out with Colonel Gaddafi, they came first to London and then to Manchester. And one of the sons they gave this country was Salman Abedi, who at the age of 22 killed 22 young girls at the Manchester Arena.
Oh my fucking God,
with a suicide bomb. One, by the way, for every year of life this country gave him. His brothers just stabbed and thrown boiling oil at 3 prison wards. Let me bear with you. Why were the Abedi? Hang on. Why were the Abedi family in the UK?
Great question.
Why is nobody interested in asking that? And I'll tell you what the problem here is. There are lots of types of extremism. You get far-right extremism, far-left extremism. When it comes to jihadist extremism, jihadism comes from Islam. Therefore, if it's 1%, 5%, 15% of people of the Muslim faith who follow that version of it, you've got a hell of a problem. And the more people,
he's just right.
The larger, this is simple math.
Let's say it's only 1%. We should not be bringing in 100 Muslims.
The larger the number of people who are followers of a faith that has not solved the extremism problem in its midst or drawn suitable lines, the more extremism you will have. You don't get that from the Catholic Church in 2023 or 4. You don't get it from the Methodists. You won't get it from the Quakers, and you won't get it from the Anglican Church.
Of course there is a problem with fundamentalism and Islamic extremism.
And fundamentalist Islam comes...
So why should we import millions of Afghans if he's admitting that, well, yeah, it's true. You know, 10% might rape and kill us, but, you know.
Islam, you're saying less of everyone, which means less Sajid David,
no, it doesn't.
less Sadiq Khan.
No,
and
it's not on an individual level. We just shouldn't open our borders to people that want to kill us.
No problem at all with Sajid. No, of course it's not stereotyping. I mean, this is a kind of dated conversation to my mind.
That's right. And they just try to hit him with the woke talking points. Are you being racist right now?
This is all being addressed elsewhere as we speak. Nobody else is as incredibly slow in learning as the British media and political class when it comes to this problem. Why is it the case that Saturday after Saturday we have thousands of people going through major British cities who support the death cults who would murder Jews and the rest of us next? That's a question you and I and Newsnight should answer.
Douglas Murray, thank you for talking to Newsnight.
Wow, thank you so much for coming on our show. We totally learned a lot. Anyway, and this is what England's going through. And now you wonder why. So, breaking news. Buckingham Palace has confirmed that King Charles will not issue an Easter message this year. Excuse me, what? The Christian nation of England will not be issuing an Easter message, but they issued this for Ramadan?
Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak.
Oh my fucking God, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Muslims across the United Kingdom...
This is the worst betrayal I've ever seen.
...Commonwealth begin preparations to celebrate Eid after fasting for the holy month of Ramadan, I just wanted to convey my heartfelt best wishes to all who celebrate this festival and to tell you just how much my wife and I are thinking of you at this special time of year. This last year, I know, has been deeply challenging for us all. And I'm only too aware of the...
I'm tired. I can't. Now, over 1,800 killed since junta seized power in Burkina Faso, rights group says. No one talks about it. No one cares. Let's import millions of them into our countries. At least Japan isn't fucking dealing with this shit anymore. They're just totally done with it.
Japanese man tries desperately to get a group of migrant men to behave and stop littering on the streets. Here we go.
Inside room. Station out. Okay. He's just recording. In Japan.
What the fuck you mean in Japan? Dude, and these guys will say they're Japanese. I'm just as Japanese as you are. When you come to another country, obey the rules. Do not mess things up for the people in the country. Smoking on the streets? Littering? God, he's so right. Based.
Look, see how violent and aggressive these people are? And look at this here. Illegal immigrant who attacks someone in Japan gets deported.
Based.
I don't want to go back. Immigration officer, it doesn't matter. We're taking you.
Based. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. Our countries need to survive. That comes first.
We're lucky we even have a plane. We're taking you no matter what.
Yeah, cry about it. Cry about it. A leftist is tearing up the Constitution somewhere. That'll work. Bye. Bye.
Japan is deporting children of migrants, man with Indian parents. The immigration officers are telling us to go back to our parents' home country.
Bye.
Sin was born and raised in Japan. It's the only country he's ever known, but immigration authorities want him out.
The immigration authorities are telling us to go back to our parents' home country, but I've never been to India. The immigration authorities must be kidding themselves.
Gursewak is one of at least 500 children born and raised in Japan with no legal rights.
See,
there it is. No birthright citizenship. Get the fuck out.
That's why y'all are getting sent home.
That's
right. Say they fled India.
They were literally not allowed to be here. But you're gonna blame Japan? It's the only country I ever knew. Blame your parents for putting you here illegally. yeah, you're gonna go. Look, man. We need laws. We need laws that we need to follow. Otherwise, we're fucking cooked. Otherwise, we're the barbarians that we're breaking into our countries. I'm sorry that sucks for you, and I'm sure your life is gonna be shit because of it. And it's really not our problem, actually. You know, we have a lot of issues. We don't need you to add to our issues. And I'm sorry your life sucks. Figure it out.
To escape religious persecution.
This is the reason why y'all get removed. You get these people that think that they're like entitled to go to any country because it's bad in their country. New laws in Japan make it almost impossible to gain citizenship if you aren't born there. Live here for 10 years, don't commit crime, and pay your taxes.
Based! Why should anyone... They're just so... We need this in America immediately. Yes! It's literally that simple. Live for 10 years, don't commit crime, pay your taxes. I would add, learn the language, learn Japanese, or learn, American, all right? I would add that to the list. But, yes! Why else should you become a citizen? Think about it.
The list is almost impossible. Japan obviously is voting against this. The reason why Japan is more easily able to inoculate from these kinds of problems...
They don't have white guilt. I think that's why. I think that's because they don't have, like, these liberal white retards destroying our countries.
It's because they haven't gone through the massive racial guilt that I think Western countries have gone through because of Hitler and other forms of, like, slavery and stuff like that. But if you know anything about history, you would know that basically every country...
I think also our countries... This might be controversial, and I don't want to upset anybody with this. I think that Christianity is a very, very loving... forgiving religion, and I think a lot of leftists that hate God will weaponize the real empathy that a lot of people have to destroy them, and I think it's so sad, but I think it happened in our countries.
Every culture, every group has done systematic racism, has done slavery, and everything else in between. So that's really the main reason why it doesn't happen over there, and that's the reason why they're able to get rid of it.
Yeah, and that too, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, after the Holocaust, everyone was like, well, Hitler was white. I guess white people have to literally just shut up and fucking die. And it's retarded. It's completely retarded. It's insane, and it's evil. It's just racism, actually. But yeah, we're fucking tired of this shit. Everyone is tired of it. Everyone that's being honest and reasonable is. Now, a lot of people don't want to talk about it because obviously no one wants to be branded racist, Islamophobic, whatever the fuck. We want these people out. We want our countries to thrive. We don't think that bringing people into our country that doesn't benefit our country actually helps, and therefore we're going to stop doing that. Maybe it won't happen today. Maybe it won't happen tomorrow, but the revolution is coming. The year of the Great Crusade, 2026. I'm telling you, man, everyone's waking up.